diffraction line because you're changing the aperture. This is exactly what we see with.
Okay, one thing also got to say, diffraction line. What's he talking about a diffraction line? There's a maxima and a minima when it comes to diffraction. So as soon as it reaches the maxima, that's where you have the convergence of the two patterns. So there's no diffraction line though. So I don't know what he's talking about. Hey Charlie Walsh, thank you for coming, and Jeff Gassett, hello.
The diffraction line he's talking about is in that laser demonstration.
Yeah, he's
There's
trying
a
to
diffraction line.
Yeah, he's trying to quit it to the horizon. That's what I'm trying to say. So he's trying to say that horizon would be your diffraction line,
Check.
which is actually false. I mean, when you see, let's say, eye level, your eye level is actually above the horizon. So the convergence zone would still be around that area, but it's not the horizon itself. So that's why when you use, let's say, things like a theodolite app or something, the horizon is relative to eye level, but it's still below eye level.
So if the Earth was actually round and specifically a sphere that's curving at a specific rate.
No, I'm not always right, guys. Please don't say that. I was wrong already about horizon definition, remember? In the same stream. Just I'm man enough to concede when I'm not right.
No, that's the way to be. If you're wrong, you know it, then you own up. Simple.
Yeah.
And the horizon we see would drop while we gain altitude. But that's not what we see. As you can see right here, we're going up and the horizon's going up from its original point. So that's an optical effect based on perspective, that the Earth is supposedly curving down away from us, but I'm going up and the horizon is going up. Again, as you see here, the horizon's going up and down throughout the day. It's just an optical effect, an apparent location where the sky appears to meet the ground. When it's clear outside, you can see further. That's all there is to it, which is why flat Earth exists. We went and tested the globe claim, and it isn't real.
Well done, Woodson. I agree.
Yeah.
Sea Lightning 300, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Glad you make it. So yeah, Woodson actually did a very good job here. I'm not going to really have anything wrong to say about it. At all.
So that's all I really want to cover, because I feel like no one ever really seems to want to address this. The globe claims there's a physical geometric horizon that blocks things in the distance. But what we see in reality is that the horizon is just apparent.
Okay, that I gotta disagree with him there. No one really seems to want to address. Yeah, we push this. How long have we been having this argument with?
Yeah.
The exact same argument.
But make your point. What was your criticism?
For hundreds of years.
Hey, Price, good to see you. Sorry, what you mean? Make your point.
I wasn't sure what point you were trying to make. Can you state it again?
No, he was saying. It's how it sounds to me like he's saying no one's really talking about this.
I think he's. I think the way I heard it, anyways, is that he's addressing the Globers, and that's why he wanted to raise this as part of his opening, saying that they're never willing to engage the conversation about geometrical Earth curve. They just move the goalpost.
Okay.
Well, that's
anyways,
absolutely.
I've seen the whole debate, so that might be context I've gained from later on. So that might be why too.
No, but I think that you're absolutely right. I think that we have seen what Whitsitt talks about in here. He does mention the fact that we started addressing these issues from our natural empirical observations and analyses, and then as a result of our bringing up valid points, they just jump into their ad hoc bullshit made up response rather than addressing our arguments. They just come up with another answer as to why we're wrong from their model, which is what part of his point is going to be.
Yeah.
It just goes up and down. It changes based on atmospheric conditions. We have a limit to how far we can see. Believe it or not.
Yeah, what's interesting, Travis, you've also seen this with a lot of your observations.
Yeah.
When the refraction comes in, it makes it worse to see.
Yeah.
And the globe claims it makes it able to see beyond.
Yeah, it's completely the opposite. A lot of the things you just have to reverse it, and that's the way it is. I mean, they use terms like severe refraction, and I always ask them, "I'm sorry, can you show me that scientific paper where you've got this quantification of what?" Because I've never read it, and I've been reading shit for the past 5 years.
Mm.
They don't talk about severe refraction and what. I mean, Andrew Thomas Young does, he does, but he never qualifies his quantification. He never explains what the value of severe refraction is, because, in my opinion, this is the way I've said it ever since I started doing this, really. When you've got a clear day, that's severe refraction for that day. When you have the next day and the next day and the next day, and you have different atmospheric effects, those are all severe in their own case. Like, I mean, I mean, that's, yeah, whatever. Okay.
But I mean, what's the limit to their severe refraction? Though?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. They
have a
don't.
limit.
They don't have that quantified.
If
Yeah.
you're looking over water, won't that be more serious refraction you could get?
It depends on the day, because I have observations where I've got a direct line of sight to the shoreline 6 miles away. A direct line of sight from one shoreline to the next 6 miles away. On a clear day, I can see that shoreline. And the way the field of view is going to appear in my camera is 100% due to the refraction in the air on that day. So that day's refraction is severe. That's what's creating it, or whatever. It doesn't really matter. You can call it severe or limited or minute or whatever, but every day then is minute. It's just showing you a different version of it in a different condition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would call it superficial refraction.
it is actually superficial there.
Contrary to the claims that are absurd and popular nowadays, you cannot see forever. You are not Superman. And you know this intuitively, that you can't see forever, because that's an insane claim. Now, I do want to cover this part again, because this will certainly come up. And the sunsets are impossible on a flat Earth. This is just absurd. Again, this is an experiment done by Harvard showing the Rayleigh criteria based on the diffraction line. So you have an eye level, you have a diffraction line.
Diffraction limit. What's it? You might need to get that right, mate.
And
Diffraction
criteria.
limit. Yeah. Yeah. Just they're showing areas this here. That's what they're doing. They're showing the maximum and the minimum merging together because the areas this on the diffraction limit, not diffraction line. So you might need to get that right, because if you get someone that actually knows about the diffraction limits and they start talking about it, they might just tell them, "Listen, yeah, mate, trying to sound clever, but you got to get the jargon right, correct?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Line, and then the angles relative to that diffraction line is what causes it to disappear, because it can no longer be resolved. And when you lose resolvability, you can no longer see what it is that you're looking at. Then it's specifically relative to the reception and propagation angles of what you're observing, and that's in relation to the eye level, which is why, again, this circle here, the position of these lasers that are perceived as circles did not change in the experiment. What changed was the aperture. So again, it's just an optical diffraction line. The horizon's not physical, it's just apparent. And if you're going to claim that there is a real physical, tangible geometric horizon called the curvature of the Earth, we're going to actually need to tangibly and physically prove that, not just beg the question. So that's what happened. The globe changed and moved the goalpost to claim, like, "Oh, you're so stupid, you don't know we see the curve of the Earth every day when things disappear." They changed it to, "Oh, we never see the curve of the Earth, but I promise that it's there."
Yeah, that reminds me like that meme that they show with the guy sweating and he's got to press the two buttons. Earth too big to see curve, or Earth too small. Earth small enough to see boats go over curve, but Earth too big to see curve. It's exactly that same thing.
So that's pretty much the basic tenets of this discussion. That's a little over half my bad, Karen B, but hopefully it's cleared some stuff up for you guys, because it seems to be.
Hey, can you pause it real quick?
Yeah.
What does that bottom red text say? I can't read it.
Optical diffraction limit mirroring zone.
I don't like that. That's why say
Yeah,
that? That's why not just call it a mirage? That's what it is.
That's what it is. It is a mirage.
Exactly.
And, yeah, I mean, that's where the waterline actually is.
Yeah.
But you're seeing the mirror from the sky. I mean, your ether band is a much more,
Yeah.
I think, concise way of.
Right, which
It's
is why I
like-
started using it. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you call it a zone, then people might think it's always going to be that. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, zone is no different than my term band. That section between the two red lines is the band that we see the mirage in.
Yeah. But I mean, also the problem here, this actually isn't going with what he's saying though, because he's giving a direct diffraction line, as you put it, but now he's giving a mirroring zone based on diffraction. The mirroring is not diffraction. The
Right.
mirroring is reflection.
Right.
So there's a difference between reflection and diffraction.
Yeah.
So he might need to look at that. The diffraction part here is this part here, where the mirror is diffracting into the bottom of
Right.
the,
You can't make a distinction between you can't see the water touching the hull of the boat. Why?
Exactly.
Because the light is not being resolved by your eye. Why? Because of diffraction.
Exactly. So he kind of got it mixed up here between reflection and diffraction.
Well, see, but here's part of the discussion too. If we could wipe away that mirage right now, that boat would change positions. It would either drop, it would recede, it would not be in that same position. Neither would the background look that same way. This is a very good example of what I'm talking about. That entire field of view would change if you wiped away that refraction limit and put in, or whatever you want to call it, refraction gradient, whatever. And then if you just put in a clear day, that boat would be sitting on the water and you'd be able to see where the hull is touching the water. So part of this discussion that Whitsitt is addressing, again, in my opinion, has nothing to do with aperture, because we don't change any apertures in our eyes as we're looking towards this. What's changing the view is the air, not an aperture. So again, I don't think that this is an adequate address.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's false equivocating refraction with diffraction. That's what he's trying to do. I think he's got a bit of a confusion. That's what I'm saying. I think he's trying to link them too closely together.
Well, that's fine. I mean, he's trying to work things out. I commend him on it. I said a lot of stuff that I wouldn't say. I said stuff 5 years ago, 4 years ago that I wouldn't say today.
Yeah, obviously, because as time goes on, you make your arguments more concise and you change it as to what is correct. So, I mean, we all do that. Yannick, my eyes are much better than yesterday. Thanks, guys, for asking. Chamomile, they've been telling me put some tea bags.
Hello,
on.
Hey,
Hey, Neil. Good to see you,
Yeah.
mate.
And Adam.
And
since
Adam.
nobody says hello to me, so I gotta come. Hi, everybody.
Did I hear his royal ether bandiness?
Oh my God, my master and my magi.
Hi, dude. How are you, mate?
Oh, it's good to hear you, Adam.
I've been catching up with your new bit of Red End Radio. So
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's quite cool when he talks to everybody in the Uber rides. I think it's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, I do too.
The nice thing about that, you're not censored and you force them into the car to sit and listen. Okay.
You got it, sorry.
Awesome. All right, we'll end the screen share there. Thank you so much for that, Whitsitt Gets It. And we're going to kick it over to Karen for your up to 6-minute introductory statement. Thanks for being here.
Alrighty. Thank you so much
Hey,
for
Carl,
having
good to
me.
see you.
Well, what I can say in addition to what Whitsitt said, because I agree with all of that, and those are all wonderful observations and good points. And but one thing that we have done as flat earthers that I haven't really seen globe earthers do is actually go out and try to physically measure the curvature of the Earth, which they do give us a given size. Unlike the
That also agree. They don't actually go out and do anything. They do beg the question a lot. That's about it. And they calculate things based on their belief.
Well, I mean, that's exactly what the first guy does, Ozian or whatever.
Oh.
All he
With his
does.
drone.
Yeah, he just goes out and he just eyeballs stuff and then measures pixels and says that he's measured the curve of the Earth. It's absurd.
But it's sad. He totally misrepresents perspective, he doesn't understand what the hell he's talking about.
It's
I actually
crazy.
did a demonstration today that I wanted to show, but I haven't saved it from my phone yet. So I'll do a video this weekend where I'm going to take where he's showing his drone footage, and he says it's impossible on the flat surface. And I'm going to show you side by side with me doing exactly the same thing on a flat surface.
That's gonna be good, man. Good for you.
Yeah. So the poor guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, but we're gonna get there though. Hey, Furious Fifa, good to see you. And who else I see? Gary Wabenga, hello.
The lights in the sky that we cannot see, we cannot actually physically go measure, like that is just beyond anybody's capability to basically go and verify whether or not that's true. We all are here on the face of the earth, and we all have the ability to put those numbers to the test. And while the globe math that they give you for the lights in the sky does work out, because they put everything so far away, you know, it could be anything up there. You know, the numbers don't really mean that that's reality, but they do give us a size and shape for the globe Earth.
Yes. Hey, Titanong, and it was debunked. Black Swan 2020.
I wouldn't agree with what she conceded to me. It doesn't. You know what I was showing you with regards to that bit of GeoGebra I was doing with putting the elevation angles on at different longitude, latitudes, north and south of the equator. All that demonstrated is that the maths doesn't work. If you're pointing at the star, the same star, 30 degrees north, 30 degrees south, whatever equivalence, you're not pointing at the same point mathematically. You're pointing to a point where you can't resolve anymore, but fundamentally and mathematically in their resolution of putting it on a ball, celestial navigation, you don't point to the same point. So I actually disagree with that. I know it's a bit geeky, but like fundamentally that's a flaw in their stealing of celestial navigation.
Yeah, because the way you were showing it, it actually with distance it makes it worse, because it actually diverges away from each other. It doesn't go to each other. The
They
2
never
points.
ever meet.
Yeah, they never meet. They go further away the further the distance. But they, on the apprehension, would believe that because it's so far away, they meet, which is total nonsense. But like we say, everything about the globe is a total 180. They try and make everything seem to work, but it doesn't really work. But that's practically how they work. But I do agree with her when they say the globers don't really go out and try and do anything. They go and stand there with a theodolite or a camera and say, "Oh, you see, so it's Earth curve," without understanding why they're seeing what they see, and not understanding they're using optical instrumentation.
Well, they do, to be fair. We did Red's tracking the ISS. This is all R-based, pre-suppositional stuff. They do their best. You know, they start with Alberuni. It's just very difficult now, isn't it? They used to try. But respect, you know, Karen was involved in FE Core. Yeah, you know, and I think she misspoke again, saying we go as flat earthers going out and measuring curve. No, you know, we go out and demonstrate there is none, whether that's FE Core or John D or whatever. You know, there's plenty of stuff that's demonstrate the lack of curvature. The only guy I know tried to measure it was it Timmy Boy? You know what I mean? They back in the early days they used to claim that horizon, and obviously Rumpus. You know, they used to claim they were measuring curvature.
Has Rumpus ever done his
Never.
His canal observation yet? No.
Still waiting for it.
Ridiculous, man. That's so absurd.
Rumpus never did anything he was supposed to do.
No. Waiting for the revision of the Isle of Man data, aren't we?
Yeah, but you see the problem that Rumpus had though when he was wanting to do the so-called canal thing. Even me and Brian, we both contacted him and we were telling him, listen, yeah, you just going to be showing optical effects. You're literally going to be providing evidence, it's perspective. And he would be going to try and beg the question that this perspective is now Earth curve. And I think that kind of scared him off, because from there it's just no.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, he might have been hoping no one would have been that smart, and then when he heard you guys say it, he's like, oh yeah, there's no way I can do this now, because you know.
Because then he had excuses, yeah. Like, I have to go cut the weeds on the side, and we're busy trying to trim this and get the bridge, you know, it's busy falling apart here.
Yeah, but what's crazy about it is that we all understood that already from the very beginning, that that's what his situation was going to be. I mean, you know, we all knew that.
Exactly.
We're like, go ahead, do it. You know, do it. We want you to do it. You know what I mean?
And more evidence. Just do it, please.
Yeah. You're doing great, kid.
Back in the day, 2015, 16, was it allegedly Dave and a load of guys that went to the Bedford level and actually did it? So.
And it didn't.
Sure I should want to try and go and disprove it.
Yeah. Hey, Alan, good to see you, mate. Oh wow.
And that is what we like to put to the test, because that is what we actually are physically standing on. So if I could get a screen share.
What are you going to show us, Bigfoot?
Share my second desktop here. This is actually a PDF. It's a 120-page PDF that was put together by FE Core, which is a group of people who were questioning the shape of the Earth, and we all went and spent a lot of money and a lot of time and bought equipment and documented very well where we went and we tried to measure to find curvature. Every time we did this, we found none. So
I don't know why, but while I was looking at this now, I was thinking of Sean Hawkins. Has anybody been wondering where Sean Hawkins is for the last week?
Oh my God, I don't care.
Who cares? Adam, why don't you want an FE Core?
No, but I'm thinking, don't you think he died or something?
I would hope.
I wouldn't hope, but shame. But I mean, really.
Nah, he's a
horrible.
He's a horrible.
Since I started my channel, he's been bothering me every day. And
oh, listen. Do you even know what he did to me?
Yeah.
No.
So on my channel, I have an interview with a PhD astrophysicist from Georgia State University, and I knew that I was probably taking a chance by even putting the first video up. But I didn't reveal where he was from at all. I didn't, you know, nothing. I didn't give enough information out so that people would know where he was from. And on the second interview, he asked me to write an article that he was going to then publish on his school's website on the section in Mirage. And in the first video, I discussed with him one of the suggestions that I actually made to him directly before we had our one-on-one live stream. I sent him my suggestions that his website got wrong. He corrected his website based on my suggestions. So then, and then gave me credit for it on the website. And then he asked me to write an article. So I wrote an article, and then I published it on my channel saying, here's an article that I wrote. Sean Hawkins began to troll the entire Georgia State University media and tell them that they were irresponsible scientists for letting a pseudoscience flat earther write an article. I never mentioned anything about flat earth. The guy that I was having a conversation had no clue who I was. I was just addressing science and Mirage. They ended up taking my article down without even consulting me and asking to verify whether or not his accusations were true. To which I would have simply said, did you ask him for evidence? You know what I mean? So anyway, so yeah, Sean Hawkins, I have no regard for him as a human being whatsoever.
That's just wrong, though. But it shows you that the desperate levels they have to go to.
I know.
To try and go against anybody that doesn't have the same belief as them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, on the one hand, I was thinking to myself, I'm putting myself out here, and I could get in trouble in terms of, getting trolled, which I did.
Yeah.
But I knew though exactly the point that you just made. If I do get attacked and there's nothing behind it, it's because everything that I'm saying is 100% true. Otherwise, you come at me with your science. He came at me with no science whatsoever, just accusations and ADHOMS.
That's practically what he's done. Yeah, because I just said, well, all that was bothering me now. I was like, I don't know if the guy died or something. Because it's been like 2 weeks and it's been the longest he's ever haven't bothered me, which is weird. I don't know why I just thought of him now when I was looking at Karen's FE core stuff. But yeah, that sucks. Whatever he did, that's bad. I mean, that's like on the lines of George Netanyahu when he did that to
Right. Yeah, Brian Mullen. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were so proud of him. I was like, what the hell's wrong with you people? Messing with a person's livelihood and you're proud of that.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian Stavely, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. But yeah,
I think they're just doing good, and that's just totally wrong in all aspects.
It's crazy. Oh, okay, let's get there. wait. Oh, yeah.
You know, this PDF right here is just basically an outline of the measurements we took over Lake Balaton in Hungary. That is like the largest lake in Europe. So there was plenty of positions there for us to get multiple measurements over over the week that we were there. They also, the team went and did the same thing in the Netherlands. And at each time that they went and measured, they were able to observe things on the opposite side of the lake, the source of the laser light, and things that they shouldn't see, things that should be beyond the geometric curvature of the Earth. So if you believe that the Earth is a ball, and you believe that the water conforms to the outside of the shape of this ball, there is going to be that's a place where there should be the most obvious curvature, but
Can I say something?
there is none.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm glad. You know what? I gotta give her credit. She didn't say we see too far. She said it perfectly. Well done.
Yeah, she actually, articulated it correct. That I have to agree with.
Because she was there back in the day doing that. This is great demonstrations of lack of curvature.
Exactly.
And high-tech bits of kit that they're using. Mike Cavanagh's, and you'll know, he built the salad. But, you know, with Jaren's wobbly attempts now, you know, they realise it's really freaking difficult because of beam divergence and so, and the distances they were dealing with, and 0.5 of a degree, even less, 0.05 of a degree is enough to you not be able to see it on the other side of the shore. So he built this fantastic piece of equipment, super accurate laser aiming device. Yeah, solid. So they set these things up, and it was really good, pioneering stuff that certainly for me kind of demonstrated to me at an early age that I was right.
Yeah,
hey,
and I mean,
Adam, I couldn't. They should have checked with me because sometimes we use a laser to get a measurement, from 100 foot, and that's a pain in the ass. You wouldn't believe how hard it is to get it to the other side. You got to stand there with a piece of wood, and it's so much bigger when you get 100 feet away than what it is where you're at in your starting point. When we use the laser level, holy shoot!
Yeah, but I mean, look at that jig that they had to make. I mean, how concise they had to be to get that to set in right. I mean, of all people, trying to get a laser point pin, the further you go, the harder it is to pinpoint it to a location.
Yeah.
So they really, really did a good job doing that. And I don't see any globers even attempting to do something at such precision.
That's what makes me laugh when they claim they're shining them to the moon for them reflectors. It's like, it's funny. They've been miles off.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why I use the chalk line now. I don't mess with the freaking laser level measurement. Chalk line works fine for me.
I don't really have time to go over the whole 120-page document. It is there for, I can give anybody the link who wants to read it, but all of the surrounding data was taken, temperature, humidity, distances were well documented. We even have a video of it where we took video observation of all of this stuff that was taken, and we found that that the measurements were inconsistent with the WGS 84 ellipsoid model that they supposedly say that the Earth is.
So, yeah, the WGS 84 is just based on planar measurements. Then they are affirming the consequence by begging the question that it's a sphere. So then they use the ellipsoid model consideration to make it a curve. That's why it was possible. The same, just like John when he made his kitchen a spherical radius. It's the same thing. They just take the measurements that are planar, and because they have a belief that it's spherical, they consider it to be spherical.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the exact same thing that happened with Eratosthenes. They have a physical measurement. Let's give him credit for the fact that he walked, or whoever it was which was the other. Right. He walked what 500 kilometers or whatever. You know, however.
500 stadia. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. So we have a physical measurement of distance. Okay, great. And. Right, and then you get a particular degree of angle of the shadow. Okay, and what's your point? And what? Oh, and he already knew the Earth was a curve. Okay, so then nothing that you're talking about right now with the shadow of the sun on the stylus and the distance walked has anything to do with the argument. How did Eratosthenes know the Earth was a curve? Know the Earth was a sphere before?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's just making the question, then affirming the consequence.
Exactly. 7 Moxie 7. Is that Moxie? Why the change Moxie?
No idea.
I think it's Moxie. We don't know. It could be somebody else.
Yeah.
I would say it's Moxie.
Eratosthenes has an assumption bias that he declares it at the beginning, and he says it could be flat or it could be curved. But for it to be curved, and the light source has to be very, very big and very, very far away.
And parallel.
Which is why the bad moon shadow, the moonlight will still enable you to tell the time by its shadow, kind of is the kick in the balls for Eratosthenes, because his premise was that it could only be very close and flat, or very far away and very big. Yet we have the moon producing the same shadows as the very big and very far away in their paradigm.
That's a great point, Adam. Small. That is a great point, man.
Is that Alan asking for the link? Or is he joking? A link so I can ask a question just for a second. It has to do with the life of a kitten.
What?
Is he joking? I'll put it in anyway.
Put it in for him anyway.
Yeah,
but yeah.
He's maybe misspelled something. Oh, he's just joking.
But that's a good point, though, Adam. Very good point. But also the other point I would make is, if he says he's assuming that it's parallel sun rays, you just have to look in the sky and you see it's definitely not parallel. Then it would already make his assumption bunk. So he was literally then ignoring observation that the light rays are not parallel. I mean, you just have to look in the sky and you'll say, okay, yeah, sorry, my presupposition that the sun is far away and large. Someone's...
Alan.
Yeah,
you're not coming through very well, Alan.
Someone's...
You guys can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, how's it going, Alan?
All right, I got a small question. I got 3 little kittens running around out front here. They're dying of death because they ain't got nothing to eat.
So feed them.
If I call the social services, they will come and kill them. If I could kill them myself, or I could feed them. If I feed them, then they will reproduce and the whole problem will start over again. Your guys' what should I do?
I mean, you could leave them to nature and just let it be, whatever.
Let nature take its course?
Yeah, you could do that.
All right, that's what I'm going to do. I fed them tonight because I can't handle kittens screaming.
Yeah, because the thing is that that's why they're new to a lot of the kittens and stuff, because of that. But I mean, the thing is about cats, especially, they're very adaptive, so they are able to.
They survive. They survive.
They'll survive. They'll figure out a way.
They do. I know, and I've actually helped them before.
They're not like dogs, but dogs are too domesticated nowadays. Like you stuck a Chihuahua out in the wild, it ain't got to live.
Chihuahua in the wild.
Yeah.
But when you see these little kittens crying, it's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hard one. It's life.
Of course, but yeah, I think cats are got. I think cat will be all right.
I got an idea.
I gave him a little milk, and that's it. From here on,
or you
I think your mother got run over out front.
Ooh.
Or you can just go to a house where you know there's like a cat lady and there's like 20 cats, and just stick them there. She'll definitely take them in.
We don't have that here. They'll call somebody and they'll be exterminated tomorrow.
Really?
I might as well do that myself.
Yeah, no, just let them go, man. And if that's going to happen.
But it's hard to see. They're here and they are not happy and they're dying.
Well, that's nice to know that you're a humanitarian.
Yeah, I can't see animals die that way.
Yeah, not suffer. It's not nice.
That's why I just gave milk. I had to feed him. But that just starts the problem. You understand?
Oh yeah, sure. Don't feed the bears.
Later, Jeff. Take care, man.
Cheers, Jeff. Have a good evening further, mate.
All right. Well, I just thought I'd say that, guys. I don't know, man. It's one of those things. Do or don't. You know?
Yeah. No, I think at the best is just feed them, and then they'll figure out a way to survive.
Yeah. I gave him one more night of survival, I could say.
Yeah.
And from here on out, it's God's choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
All right. All right, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. I don't have much data, but I love you guys' stream. I'll see you in chat.
Cheers, Alan, mate.
Thanks, Alan.
Love you guys.
That is why I am a staunch flat earther. I have seen it, proven it, measured it with my own eyes. So there it is. That's really all I have to present at this moment. How long is that? I still have more time.
Yeah, I was gonna say I looked at the clock just before you began. I think you still got another 2 minutes about if you wanted to vamp, but if not, we can do the other side.
Did he just say vamp?
That's good.
Yeah.
What the hell does that mean?
I have no idea.
Sorry, what did he say? Yeah.
He said if you still she asked how much time she had left. He said you have 2 minutes if you want to vamp.
I bet that's got to be an acronym between themselves, isn't it?
Well, it's no help to me.
Wow.
Let me say one thing. Can we please not use fallacies?
This is one thing that I don't think Witz should just brought up.
Yeah.
How are you not going to use fallacies in a debate?
He's already used them when he said something earlier. He already violated his own standard.
He's the fallacy king.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that I don't agree. He was doing so well until up to this point.
And we just to talk about the intellectual aspects of the conversation, and fallacies are inadmissible in intellectual form. They lack sound reasoning. They are invalid arguments. Let's not ad hom, interrupt, use straw mans, use poisoning the well fallacies, or begging the question fallacies, or affirming the consequent fallacies. Hopefully, we can be honest and not use fallacies. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'll definitely try to make sure there's no mudslinging for sure. If we want to end the screen share for now, and what we'll do is we'll kick it over to Ozion for our globe side.
Okay. This is the exciting part we actually wanted to show you guys.
Yeah.
That's your moderator, isn't it? It's a moderator.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the guy that moderate.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
He did try though, sort of.
Yeah, he did more smoking than drying.
Drinking.
Yeah.
Actually just got here. I messaged him about 10 minutes before we started, and like a champ, he said he would come in here and be the hero of the evening and fill in. So we really appreciate you being here, Bitar, and helping us out here tonight with this conversation. So we'll kick it over to Ozion for up to 6 minutes, and then we'll kick it over to you. So thank you, Ozion, for being here as well.
All right, I'm Ozion, and I'm here today to talk about the evidence for a curved Earth, and I am going to do a screen share also right here. And it is of drone footage. Hopefully that's sharing.
Now, I would love for I tried to find his contact information. I couldn't find any, but I would love to get a hold if he would share his footage. I'd love to analyze this with my own eyes, because I'm sure he's missing something here.
And it's very edited on what he's showing now. You'll see now when he's trying to show it like with a loop going up and down. It's not really going up. It's just going up and then looped back from down at the horizon going up again, which isn't really what he's trying to show. I'd say fair. But he does have a channel if you want his link.
Yeah, but I went there. There's still no email. He doesn't have any contact information, unless you want to go to Twitter, and I don't have Twitter anymore.
They have a Discord room, don't they?
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, modern database do have a Discord. You want me to contact him on Discord for you?
I mean, if you want to, I'm not going to ask you to, but either way, I'm going to try to find out by going to Modern Day Debate and emailing James.
James should be able to
get
hold of him.
James and I know each other. So he's called me a couple times to fill in last minute if a flat earther bailed out.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what he presents, guys.
All right. I'm going to be using drone footage to demonstrate how this footage is evidence for a curved Earth and against a flat Earth. Curve and the altitude as low as 150 feet above sea level. I'm not arguing for horizon curve, but for curved bodies of...
Look here, it says ship below horizon. And he's saying it's Earth curve.
Wow. The horizon's behind it. You can see it.
No, okay, don't get too crazy just yet. If you go to the image before when the drone was down lower, that's the horizon's Earth curve.
No, listen,
so the one that matches is when it's at a lower height.
But listen.
And when it changes to not match.
But listen to his words though. He's saying that he's not here to fight for the horizon being Earth curve.
Right, right.
And I'm here today to talk about the evidence for a curved Earth, and I am going to do a screen share also right here, and it is of drone footage.
It's like asking, tell me how you don't understand what Earth curve is without telling me. And he's like, yeah, hold my beer. And then he shows
so just real quick, I mean, again, I can't see this image very well even on my screen, but so right here, in his opinion, 20% of the boat is missing because of Earth curve. So that is the horizon, therefore that is Earth curve.
That's what he's saying, yeah. But he's saying he's not arguing the horizon is Earth curve. That's what he's saying as well.
Right. From 100 feet. From 150 feet up.
Yeah, 150 feet.
He's saying that apparent size of boats changing because of Earth curve.
Yeah, the horizon's not Earth curve, but watch this boat disappear over the Earth curve.
No, but
which is the
horizon's behind the boat still. Look.
Still, look.
Well, no, he said, I'm not arguing for horizon curve. I'm arguing for curved bodies of water, quote unquote. That's what he
There's
said.
the horizon. There's the horizon, guys.
But he can't claim it's the point of intersection of the hull. Look, the horizon's behind the image of the boat as that's what it's showing.
Exactly.
So
why are we going to watch?
Being kind.
Why are we going to watch any more of this video at this point?
What, dude?
I said, why are we going to watch any more of this video at this point when Flatzoid
doing a show?
No, I know that much. I'm just saying in terms of how absurd this is. Flatzoid took, 10 seconds and showed that the horizon was beyond the boat at the lowest point when he said the horizon was blocking the boat?
Exactly. So it's
absurd, man. This is just how stupid this whole thing is. This is so insane.
The sad thing is, this guy's the smarter of the two Globers. That's the sad thing.
Yeah, well, did you hear the other guy trying to talk about gravity being the reason for Earth curve?
Wow.
It gets bad.
Hopefully that's sharing. Looks like
But listen to the guy's words quickly. Just really listen to what he's saying.
Sure is.
All right. I'm going to be using drone footage to demonstrate how this footage is evidence for a curved Earth and against a flat Earth, and how you can see curve and an altitude as low as 150 feet above sea level. I'm not arguing for horizon curve, but for curved bodies of water.
Wow.
See, I told you. Told you that's what he said.
Wow.
I was just thinking what that means. He's meaning I'm not going to argue looking at the horizon left to right curvature, but I am going to invoke the horizon
The
as
waves.
the leading edge of the ball. Well done, son. I want you to. Please invoke it. Black Swan.
Hey Leafy, goed om jou te zien. But you see, this is the issue. He just said, I don't want to talk about Earth curve horizon, but the bodies of water curving.
But think about the statement. Hold on, this is kudos to every single one of you guys that have been doing this for 7 years, because he's so scared of that argument that he's relegated himself to this argument. He knows he can't go there. It's an admission by omission, you know.
That's a good point, my friend.
Very good point.
He's using his own anti-flat Earth rhetoric, isn't he?
Wow.
He's going to deny compression. That's what this picture is.
Well, I have to admit something. When I'm on Rockaway Beach and I'm, doing the boogie board, waves are coming in and they're curving around me. So, yeah, I'll agree with that.
So check this out. I got this drone footage of a ship that's a few thousand feet away. As the drone ascends, the ship appears to get narrower and taller. This is because the surface of the Earth curves away from the drone as it ascends.
No.
If the Earth were flat, the ship would appear to get shorter and narrower as it ascends.
No, that's not how it works.
So again, he's invoking strawman right here because he's making a claim about something I've never heard anyone say.
He's trying to say that the dimensions of the ship are due to the Earth curving away. Because if it was flat, those dimensions would not stay the way they're showing.
I know, but you got right. But those right now at this point are his words. Show me. I'm asking him. Show us your paper that addresses the issue that you're saying. Like, who is saying? Otherwise, this is just him saying something that he's asserting as being scientific. Is he the source of this information?
Well, pictures are not scientific anyway. That's not scientific regardless.
It doesn't need to be scientific. We've now
Right.
got a demonstration of change in altitude showing a difference in resolution. The higher you go, the thicker the boat's getting, i.e. because we open up the angle to look at the boat.
Yeah, but see,
and
the
that's
thing-
all lovely and worth tossing yourself off over and talking about until you look at the picture. And we've now got the horizon above the level of the stacks on the boat, so the horizon is now so far into the distance that the point he's trying to make, which is obscurance via Earth curve, the Earth curve's behind the boat if you're going to invoke it. So whatever he's now demonstrating has nothing to do with Earth curve.
Exactly.
Not only that, but let's say that this ship was moored, right? It's going to be moored for an entire week. Go back every single day and do this again and show us the same image. You're not gonna.
Not going to. I mean, an hour from now, it's not going to get the same image.
Yeah. I mean, it's just absurd.
Mhm.
Why are we
And I
gonna
love how-
Why are we gonna watch any more of this guy? I know. Yeah.
Because we can. We still want to get to the other guy's argument as well about gravity being the curve.
Yeah.
Gravity. Nice.
But it doesn't. It gets narrower and taller, as you can see in the footage. Why? Because the Earth is curved.
Okay.
So, it's just funny to me.
This is like... It's like, tell me you don't understand perspective without telling me. Okay, I want to see if we can get different parts of this.
Let me explain.
While you're doing that, anybody catch Del today on Flat Earth Debate?
Oh no, he went on FED, did he?
Oh, yes, he did come on FED and got embarrassed.
I was at work, but I had one AirPod in listening when I could. It was what I heard was pretty interesting.
Well, let's put it this way. He did the same that when he did to me when he came on. You don't agree with me, then he starts swearing at you and calling you a retard and a
Fruitcake flats, man. You're a big fruitcake.
On a flat surface,
You're just a coward. While you're on my show talking, okay?
It's practical demonstrations.
What are you doing, Flats?
I'm testing his claim out.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Does it look like it's doing what he's claiming? That's what I'm.
Flats is just making a call out. Better off messing with that.
I should have known Flats would bring up paint.
I love using paint, by the way, because this is
the artist in you. Yeah.
Yeah.
no matter how far we are from the ship.
Huh? Sorry.
Start calling you Panzoid.
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 It's getting a bit difficult now. Okay, I guess that's the last one we need to do. Okay. Let's see now. What is his claim, guys?
So you can see on the very far right that I would say at this point, because we know the horizon is beyond the boat, the ship, that you've got compression. There's nothing missing. You just have the hull being compressed, and the only thing that's going to, in my opinion, create that is going to be the condition of the air that you're looking through, which has to do with perspective as well.
But I mean, if you're looking through this, his claim is the reason we see the way it's the compression, like you called in the beginning, is due to the Earth curve, not flat. He says you would see a difference of compression if it was flat. Correct?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know that I've heard him say compression, but I could be wrong. But I'm not sure.
But I'm saying if we take a compression, because he's saying it changes, squashes it. Let's just get his exact wording though. I think that's. Let's just listen again, because he has specific words that he's saying.
Sure is.
All right. I'm going to be using drone footage to demonstrate how this footage is evidence for curved Earth and against a flat Earth, and how you can see curve at an altitude as low as 150 feet above sea level. I'm not arguing for horizon curves, but for curved bodies of water. Well, check this out. I got this drone footage of a ship that's a few thousand feet away. As the drone ascends, the ship appears to get narrower and taller. This is because the surface of the Earth curves away from the drone.
Oh, hold on.
So it gets narrower and taller.
Yeah, that's absolutely it doesn't. It gets bigger. It's getting bigger as he ascends.
There we go. That's exactly. Lower getting higher. So it's going opposite of what he's claiming.
It is.
Yeah, because you got more field of view, right?
Yep. Yep.
Pushing a field of view further, exactly.
The angle to the lower portion of the boat,
right,
a pixel mix where the bottom 10 feet, it's hard to distinguish any of it at the lower altitude.
Yeah, exactly.
All of those angles then increase to the lower 10 feet. So you start to, I think the flat earthers showed the Aries discs earlier. So as you come up, then suddenly you're able, the angular size that these things are occupying in your field of view in competition with other things changes, and it allows you to resolve better because they've got more space to be resolvable in, i.e. they're not competing. That's all that's being demonstrated. It's
and I think that's exactly where Witsit takes it during the rebuttal piece. And this guy, Ozian or whatever, starts to, he denies perspective, and they have to show him streetlights, and it gets into a whole thing. So
does it really get that bad though?
The only point to take him to is the horizon. He wants to mitigate straight away. Don't let him. What the hell? There is no Earth. Right. If you're claiming that Earth curve exists, then the horizon is the point of blockage that you can't see beyond. Right?
Exactly.
Now, you can't then have a horizon in the background, even on a ball Earth, and claim that there's blockage in the foreground before the blockage begins. It's like trying to say that hill behind you, I can't see you because of the hill behind you.
Exactly. It's nonsensical, but that's why I said, listen to his words. He's literally conceding that it's not Earth curve. That's why when he says, I'm not fighting for the horizon as Earth curve, then that's showing he either doesn't know what Earth curve is in his model, or he does know and he's trying to deliver.
Well, he has no idea what
it.
He has no idea what the geometric horizon is later on when Witzer brings it up.
Oh.
No idea.
But I mean, he's just made a claim that it's because of Earth curving that we see this change in angular size. But listen what he says about the flat Earth, what you would see if it was flat.
If the Earth were flat, then the ship would appear to get shorter and narrower as it ascends.
No.
That's not true.
I know, that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying before. Who says what you're saying? I don't say that. So who are you quoting right now? This is a straw man argument. But listen to what he just said. On a flat Earth, when the drone ascends, the ship's going to get narrower. And then that's what he says happens on a globe Earth when he ascends. It gets narrower.
Exactly.
What's going to happen is exactly what's happening on screen, because we're on a flat Earth and the drone is being raised. So that's what you're going to see, just what he's showing us right there in the footage.
Why would it get shorter?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's what I'm surprised that Witze didn't call him out on that, because again,
this is his opening statement, so he's not allowed to.
Oh, I guess so. Well, yeah. Regardless, that would have been one of my first points, and Witze doesn't address that.
They dive in. Trust me. It's all about this guy's claiming 19.8% more of the boat hull he can see because his drone flies up, and yeah, Witze and Karen B try to take him to task on this.
That's why I like Nathan's brick analogy. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's great. Yeah, that's been a great analogy ever since he brought it up 4 years ago. 5 years ago.
Pre-Ranty observation. This is the argument we have to suffer in 2015-16. So these are all, and you, Trevor, you know, all these are all things that have been demonstrated by people getting off their arse and taking pictures and showing it. It's very, very, very weak on the ball behalf that this has been presented. Right, I say, it's very dated. Their argument is that what he's got.
Yeah.
You've got to get rid of the horizon, and you've got to imagine that water's curving, look, because the boat shape's changing in a way that it doesn't change.
It's funny you say that, Adam, because it's the exact sentiment I had when watching the debate, except after the even more ridiculous arguments presented by the next guy. I'm sitting there thinking, imagine you're on the fence. Imagine for a second, you're someone sitting on the fence, and you're like, who's going to bring the best arguments? And again, you guys saw Witsit and Karen B both brought really good evidentiary, right, arguments. And then you see these two guys, and it's just like, the one dude just got a new drone for Christmas and wanted to take it for a flight. The other guy has a piece of paper and a Rubik's Cube and says, how can you see everyone see the same face of the moon? And those are the arguments. And it's like, if you're bringing your best, how could anyone possibly? They are driving people to flat Earth. I mean, that's just how I read this.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way you can listen to this crap. Yeah.
Okay. Let me quickly show you.
Was that an old school flat-side lab shot I just saw earlier? Then?
Yeah.
I was going to say in the spray shop.
What's with the Masonic cap?
Don't you like? It was my when I graduated from leaving the globe.
You only hire it for the day, Neil.
Is that a tangent on the globe?
Okay.
Square and stationary Earth on the top of his head.
Yeah, he's a rectangular earther.
Okay, guys, this would be the ship. Okay, you can see the horizon. Let's say that's the horizon behind it. Look what happens when I rise in altitude. Is it doing what he claimed on a flat surface?
Nope.
That's actual demonstration to show what he's talking about is totally bunk. Okay, now let's do it again where I'm just keeping the camera straight. I'm not tilting it down while I'm looking. Doesn't seem to be doing what the guy claimed.
Wait, I can see more of the top of that when you get higher. Look, I can see the top of it. The Earth is curved.
Exactly.
Your floor is curved.
And that's the whole point what I wanted to show. The guy's really, I don't know where he got his information from, but it's totally wrong.
He just got a new drone for Christmas, I'm telling you.
But I mean, that's why I said it's so easy to debunk these guys' arguments. Just do a demonstration and show them they're wrong. It's crazy.
But it doesn't. It gets narrower and taller, as you can see in the footage. Why? Because the Earth is curved. Let me explain. On a flat surface, if you have a side view of a ship and the ship and the observer at sea level, the side view will always have the same ratio of angular size and height and width, no matter how...
That's false. Always have the same ratio. Sorry, so you're saying the distance between you and the object doesn't change when you change elevation? When you go in altitude, is the distance not changing between you and the object?
Yeah, you're increasing the hypotenuse.
Yeah, so your angular size differs. So this guy literally doesn't understand what the hell he's talking about.
How far away you are from the ship. However, as you go up in altitude, the angular size of the height of the ship will change at a greater rate than the angular size of the width of the ship. This would mean the ship will appear to get shorter and narrower as you ascend in altitude on a flat surface. However, on a curved surface, the ratio of the angular size of the ship's height and width will not be the same at all distance. This is because the surface of the Earth curves away from the observer.
He just said the same thing in two different ways. You notice that?
Yeah.
He said the same thing for the curve and for the flat Earth. He said the same thing, just in two different ways. So which one is it then? Wow. It's nonsensical, really. But like I said, I actually want to do an actual video on this though. I think to break it down frame by frame.
Blocking the bottom of the ship as the observer gets further away. As a result, the ship will appear to get shorter as the observer gets further away. But in the image you're seeing, you're actually going up in altitude, up to 150 feet with my drone. And as you can see, the ship is getting taller. And it's actually not...
The ship's not getting taller.
No. I was just going to say that. I don't see it getting taller at all.
You're just seeing more of the ship because your field of view is being pushed out further. Just like on the flat surface, exactly the same thing. Which is what we're observing. I mean, you're seeing more of the top of the ship, and you're seeing more because your angle has increased.
And we do have an example of the diffraction issue when he gets higher. If you look at the hull, there's a white strip when it's higher. No, not at the top, down at the bottom. Go to your...
Oh, okay, when he gets higher.
Not changing very much in...
right there. So why couldn't you see that before? Diffraction. You were at a lower viewing angle. Your angle of view is too acute, and you can't resolve the information that's there.
Exactly.
And his horizon shouldn't be rising above the boat either.
Yeah, Whitsitt brings that up later.
But that's why he said, I'm not here to argue for the horizon being Earth curve, when that's exactly what their claim for the globe curve is the horizon.
Width. It changed very little. In summary, if a ship is 2,000 feet away horizontally...
And I don't know why. It seems to be almost like he's zooming in while he's going up.
Now, hold on just real quick. Because later on, he's going to say, I don't know how far away this ship is, and just now he said it's 2,000 feet away.
Hold on. And before he said a few thousand feet at the very beginning. Because I caught the same thing, and I know he says later he doesn't know the distance. So he's... At that point, he'll have said 3 different distances on the ship.
Yeah, that's...
So he doesn't actually know...
Is based on a straw man of how things would behave on a flat Earth. Because he's taking reality and saying, look, this is how it works on a ball. It's a ball. This is why it works like that. But on a flat Earth, it wouldn't do this. Now
right.
Now you argue that.
Isn't that a false dichotomy?
Yeah. Well, it's not even that. It's just the total straw.
Well,
man.
yeah.
You've got to take apart what he's asserted how optics would work on a flat plane. That the ship would go apparently on a flat plane, and because it doesn't do that, it means it's a ball. That's the argument that's been presented in irrespective of all the other stuff.
Well, but see, that's the whole thing, Adam. You're touching on a point that is an argument that we have to take apart, and that is the Earth is a ball, therefore this is what we see. Therefore, this is what we wouldn't see if the Earth were flat. We would see something completely different. But our position, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Our position is, no, we would see the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing, both of us, we're standing next to each other. We both have our own drones. We both go away and look at our own drone footage together at the same time. Guess what we're going to see at the same time? The same thing. And
yeah, the only difference is we saying it's optical, and they saying it's physical. They're hijacking optical perspective. That's all they're doing. They're just hijacking what we see in optics and calling it physical.
Yeah.
So obviously we're going to see exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
I can just see the big horizon in the background. That's all I need to see.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Joker.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
his argument, if he's going to invoke curvature, is there, right? And it destroys what he's trying to say next, because from an optics point of view, if that horizon is in the background, there is no curvature of this surface that's relevant in the slightest. All you've got is the change in height of eye, and that's all he's demonstrating. But he's trying to claim, and this is his fundamental point, that what we're seeing, the only reason we're seeing it is because it's on a ball. It's unsubstantiated why he's gone, oh, because, not because this is how it would work on a ball, but because otherwise, if it was flat, it would go shorter and fatter. I don't know what his description was, but that's his ultimate point of argument. He's straw manning you to then say what it would be like on a flat Earth. Don't let him go there. I would not, in any part of this debate, allow this if I was debating someone, allow this optic shenanigans to come in.
Well, not only that,
it's a total sidetrack. Stick to the horizon, and it screws him.
Well, not only that, but we don't know what height the drone was. Let's just take it for granted that it was at sea level and at.
He did say 150 meters, did he not?
No.
I agree with Adam. The heck with that. Keep him on the horizon.
They want you to share your knowledge, these ballers. Yeah? So this is set up for us to do what we fell into, myself included just there, discuss our knowledge of height of eye, compression, yeah, and all these things we've been discussing. That's where they want, if you're in a debate, it to go. Because there's no winner. Because you know, as I've just said, well, the horizon's in the background. So even if you prove the point, you don't win anything on the shape of the Earth, but he's wasted an hour of your time.
You're 100% right, Adam. 100% right. Even though he's claiming he doesn't want to go near the horizon, bring him to that horizon, because that's their Earth curve.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why he was throwing it away when he started.
Yeah, but Adam's saying don't let him. Who was he to throw it away?
He throws it away straight away to talk optics about height of eye and our compression, right? And then sets you up with a straw man, what it would be like on a flat Earth that you've got to defend. Why is he setting up that argument for you to bite on and use your knowledge that we've gained? It's because in the background is the thing that destroys it. All you need to talk about.
Yep.
That's his curve in the background.
But notice, even on his own argument here on the side, he's got a triangle, flat baseline to have the angles, which he's claiming is because it's curved. It makes how does he have that flat line then?
No, it has to be horizontal baseline. You're right.
Yeah. So even his own diagram debunks his own argument. So it's crazy. And it also doesn't help to count pixels because
no,
that's not going to give a true representation of what he's trying to see.
No, that's what the whole pixel argument, in my opinion, is similar to the orthographic argument, where they're just dealing with straight geometry and math, and they're looking for a dynamic equivocation between the size of the object. But what is not taken into consideration with orthographics is perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
perspective's 3-dimension, orthographic's 2-dimensional.
And not only are you dealing with perspective, but you're also dealing with the air. So you have two variables that he is not addressing.
Yeah, I mean, what about the magnification? What about you got so much different things you need to worry about when you're looking through 3D space.
That's why I bring them to the horizon. I agree with Adam.
Yep.
It's good though. You get the RUHIF stamp of approval if you measure in pixels. It's finding reality when you say pixels.
Yeah, RUHIF does love them pixels.
Well, so does Zanuck and all those other trolls.
But I mean, RUHIF, like remember that whole thing with the Blackpool Towers, debacle on the horizon on the left, when I got RUHIF to go and draw out angled pixels for me, and his angled pixels that he drew out literally made my point about the limiting angle, because they don't understand what they're drawing out is based on perspective.
Not sure exactly how far away it is. I think it's probably at least 1,000 feet away.
At least
as we raise the camera from sea level to an altitude of 150 feet, the ship would appear shorter and narrower on a flat surface, but taller and narrower on a
1,000 feet away.
Yeah, it's less than a quarter of a mile.
Right. So how much curvature is being expressed in this?
Right.
We look less than an inch.
Yeah, not even. Yeah.
So
you won't be able to see it.
Yeah. So over that distance, that's flat anyway, even by ball perspective. So what is he now claiming? That he's just pissed his curvature away by stating that there is no curvature even on a ball at this distance.
Well, yeah.
So how does it then not just resolve as standard resolution and not his previous straw man?
Earth big. Earth is big.
Not now. Earth has to be small. There's got to be enough curvature in these 1,000 foot to change what you can see. Hill in front of both.
You don't understand. It's locally flat curved, okay?
And that's the unique thing about a sphere. There's no flat surfaces on a sphere.
Yeah, when they started covering this locally flat bullshit, I was like, what? What is up with these guys? So we live on a hexagon then.
Yeah.
As you can clearly see when the drone ascends, the ship appears to be taller and narrower. This is consistent with the predictions we made about how the ship would appear on a curved surface. The pixel measurements of the ship's height and width at sea level and 150 feet in altitude confirm this. As you can see, I put the measurements I used in Adobe Photoshop. The ship's height increased by about 20% as the drone ascended, and the width decreased by about 2%. The fact that the ship's
Hold on, go back to that. Yeah, hold on. So my question to him would be, what was the cause of the horizontal limit, right?
His length increased 2%. Listen to it. Yeah, as he's gone higher, he's got slightly further away. So
exactly.
2%. That's exactly what Flatsoid was describing earlier in horizontal hypotenuse.
With the distance increasing, yeah,
because you go higher, the hypotenuse length increases. 2% is commensurate with that kind of trig, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And then the other change, perfectly commensurate with opening, as we go higher, we open up the angles.
20%.
We're able to resolve.
Yeah, he says 20%, not 2%.
No, the 2% with
that's the other one.
The horizontal.
Right. 20%.
Oh, I see. 20% of more of the boat that he can see. Yeah, okay.
And the problem is,
horizontal.
he's actually contradicting himself, because he said earlier there's no angular size change.
Right.
So,
yeah.
And even if, again, come back to the point, if he's going to express curvature in this chain, right? He's got. I just quickly worked it out. It's less than an inch. Okay, so he's got less than an inch of curvature that's going to create a 2%. Even is nonsensical width change. Because remember, the curvature will be equivalent in all dimensions, surely, because the ball's curving away at the same rate in all directions. But we've got a 2% that it's curving and a 20% based on 1 inch.
Yeah, this is a really good point, Adam. The percentage change should be equal in both directions if it's strictly due to curvature that he cited.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. If it's curvature, it should be the same.
But it's 1 inch of curvature. It's micro curvature.
Can anybody tell me since when has someone been able to see 1 inch of curvature 1,000
Quantum curvature.
Wow. Yeah, I mean,
it's a new field of science, Neil.
It's like going to the desert and saying, "I believe you can ice skate here." Look, I got a bit of ice here. It's only about maybe, starting to ice, but I can believe you can ice skate here because there's a bit of ice here that you can't see, but it's there.
A picture on screen, and this is the straw man is if we look at the boat here, how much of the back of the boat of it is restricted from being able to not define the back of the boat or to have the back of the boat? What's obstructing it or limiting it that high up? And the same with the front of the boat. And if I go up, will I be able to see more of the front of the boat or the back of the boat? Not really, will I? I said I'm going to be slightly further away. Now, when you then apply that same logic to the top and the bottom of the boat, as we saw when we went over Flat Earth's plane, you could see more of the top because the angle opened up. And it's the same with the bottom in terms of the ratio to the deck from these different heights. So you can see why they change. And this is where it's frustrating because I'm doing it myself. Because I've got no one to argue with.
I'm gonna say you're doing it again, Adam.
I know, because none of it is relevant. None of it is, like I say, you've got 1 inch of curvature, mate. All you've done is provide yourself with a virtually flat deck to destroy the point that you brought to the first place, that on a flat deck, if things are going, blah, 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 yeah? And he's just shown that they don't, and they fit with perspective and height change.
Yeah, he's just literally showing his so-called measurements for flat, not. He's doing opposite of what he's trying to claim.
Which is because there is a curved body of water blocking the ship that vanishes when the drone rises in altitude, and the drone is maintaining a similar relative distance to the side of the ship facing the drone.
That's also false.
So that is fundamentally his claim. There is a curved body, okay, blocking it at this point. So this is where you could refer him to Metaball. There isn't, okay? There really isn't at 1,000 feet anything obstructing that's curving, yeah? You've got, even at eye level, you're virtually okay at that distance, yeah? Because if you go to a Sagitta, you've got half an inch. And that's the point. So there isn't anything to obstruct your view until 3 or 4 miles away in terms of Earth curve. So what he's fundamentally claiming isn't there even in their model. Yeah, the hill has to block you. He's claiming there's a hill in front of that boat that as you go up, you see further over the hill. In their model, there isn't a hill. The hill's that horizon line.
Yeah, that's the tangent. The tangent's that horizon. That's the Earth curve. Exactly.
He's not describing ball Earth now. I don't know what he's trying to describe, but it's not a ball Earth. Nope. He's trying to claim something in front of something when it isn't there in the first place yet.
That's right.
I encourage you all to do the same measurements on your own to compare. A flat Earth hypothesis would predict that the ship would appear to get shorter and narrower as it ascends.
Says who?
It appears to get narrower and taller as it ascends, contradicts a flat Earth hypothesis, because the only way for the ship to appear to get narrower and taller.
This makes you think, did he actually go and actually test this out with, like I just did a demonstration quickly.
Well, a flat Earth hypothesis, what does that even mean, dude? What kind of a non sequitur? What did you observe the flat Earth and come up with an IV and a DV? Like it's just spitting mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, what's the cause for what he just said?
Is it crack cocaine?
It sounds like. No,
Some sort of substance abuse for sure.
I'd say fundamentally, this is nonsense.
It
As
is,
we
it's
go
useless.
up on a flat plane 1,000 yard away or whatever, foot away, the boat would, because of the non-curvature effect of the ball I'm supposing myself on, I presuppose that on a flat plane things would just not be the same, even though none of that curvature would be at play in terms of my field of view. It is a pile of absolute nonsense. It's fantastic to see that this is what they're presenting.
And the sad thing is, you're probably gonna get people that's gonna fall for this nonsense that he's talking about, because they're just so gullible. That's the problem that bothers me, though.
Yeah, they're still voting Biden, aren't they?
Yeah.
So there's nothing you can do there.
It's funny you mentioned that. The other guy, Bitar, and I don't know, you're not going to get that far today, just based on how far we've gotten so far.
Yeah, we've got 18 minutes in.
But towards the Q&A, he's from Brazil, Bitar, and this is the most outlandish thing said in the debate. And spoiler alert for anyone who doesn't want to hear this, feel free to pause and come back in 5 seconds or whatever. But he insists that it should be illegal to have the opinion or to have the idea that the earth is flat. It should be illegal, and those people should be censored, and there should be prisons, sentences, and fines attributed to anyone who puts forth that nonsense.
There you go.
That's what he puts forward.
See?
That's a bigot. That's a bigot.
That's a Democrat Nazi. That's what they all believe.
Yeah.
Everything, mate.
Absolutely.
Democrat Nazi.
It's insane. And they challenge him on it, and he doubles down. It was unbelievable when I heard him go into that. It's just crazy. There are people in the world that think if you disagree with me, you should go to jail. Like, it's just crazy.
What is wrong with people? What is wrong with people? That's crazy.
It's actually funny because Ozian, the guy who's doing this part of the argument, he's a libertarian, or so he claims. And so he utterly disagrees with his own partner, right? And so they start arguing at one point.
Yo.
Is if the surface of the Earth is curved. In conclusion, the footage I've shown you is evidence for a curved Earth and against a flat Earth. I have experienced curve, and I've tested curve and refuted the flat Earth model. I know that the Earth is...
And again, what flat Earth model though is he talking about?
How did he experience it? Is that
He's got a beer gut. He's got a beer gut.
Meghan Markle, that, innit? I have experienced
I am the curve.
Be one with the curve while I show you it's not curved. Wow.
Oh, yeah, I've got a globe under my t-shirt. Let's do it.
Maybe a couple.
But also, have you guys also realized what flat Earth model are these guys talking about?
I don't know. I just said I don't have a model. I don't live on a model.
No, it's just I think a better way of saying what he is attacking is on a flat Earth claim. He's just saying, you guys think the Earth is flat. This is what you should see. So he's...
Yeah, but that's not what he said. Words are important.
I agree. All right. I agree. I'm just trying to say that I think that he's misspeaking. He's saying...
You're trying to help him. You would do it the right way. He's doing it the wrong way.
Okay, fair enough.
It's really on a flat Earth straw man. This is what I would expect you to see. That's
Exactly.
really what he's saying, right? And it's funny because later in this debate, he gets annoyed that Whitsitt tries to say your globe model. He says, "What model? I don't have a model." But yet he's pushing a model on everyone else, right?
Yeah, that...
curved, and it is not flat based upon my own testing and my own evidence. So the questions for you guys when we get to that: why did the ship appear to get narrower and taller as the drone ascended instead of shorter and narrower?
Because of field of view pushed out.
There you go. No, straw man, shit. There you go. My question to you: why did the ship get... Answer that. No, you were supposed to be telling me why it's a ball, mate. Not asking me why we 1,000 foot away in your new drone, the ship changes slight shape and proportions as you go up and down. In a field of view where you can't invoke curvature because it's not occurred yet. What do you want about your glue sniffer?
He's
Don't
doing the
ask me
same.
a question.
He's doing the same thing Dell was doing today.
It's exactly what they do. Look at it. Yeah, that's why I called Dell a shill. I've respected Dell for a long time. Yeah, but what I heard today was exactly this behaviour. Yeah, coming into the community and just being disruptive, disingenuous, and a shill because you're pumping crap, mate, that you can't back up. And when you're asked about it, you run off, disappear.
Well,
this is shill behaviour, and this is what this guy is. He's got nothing, is he?
Well, Adam, you're retarded because you don't agree with me.
That's a pretty good one, Flatsoid. I like that.
Exactly, that's the level of rebuttal, isn't it?
That's because that's exactly what he did when he came onto my show. Yeah. Just because I didn't agree with him, I was a coward and a retard, and I don't understand what he's saying. How cowardly am I? You know, it's like
he actually threatened Nathan today.
Yeah, and I mean, then he got triggered and left my show. It's like, okay. But then again, I've done an actual presentation for him, explaining to him why he's wrong, and showing the physics behind what's really happening. And he literally ignores it. He doesn't want to watch it. Because he is. That's what I say. He's a shill. And I used to respect him. Really, I used to love going on his shows and watching his stuff. But I've lost all respect for that guy. I literally think he's sold out.
I don't like him.
I mean, I like him. I like him when he's on the street talking to students. Because in those moments, he doesn't cross any lines. He doesn't call them retarded. He never loses his shit. So that just shows you when he goes on Nathan's or he does his own show, he's a performer.
Yeah, probably. But I think if he had to do the same stuff like that, face to face with someone, it'll be a total different test.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Right, that's what I'm saying. Just like he's on the street talking to students, he wants them to respect him. He wants them to trust him. He's not going to attack them because he knows that if he does that, he's not going to have an audience out there on the street. No one's going to want to talk to him. So
No, it's a really good point. Sorry to interrupt you because you just this ties in so much with this debate, which is like I really enjoy listening to Witsit when he's not talking about ether, right? When he sticks to the core arguments, the observable, repeatable, testable, and falsifiable claims of the flat Earth, he really is articulate and he does a great job.
Right.
It's when he starts diving into the ether and. Well, I think he did in the opening, Neil.
Look, there's some very good arguments Witsit brings. I can totally agree with that. It's just
it's when he veers off then into all the the electrostatics, and he does it in this debate too, and he goes into some of that. That's when he loses me.
It's not the topics that's the issue. It's the changing standards.
Correct.
The topic. Okay?
Yeah.
So, as you heard him, the reason, and he rattled off. Let's not talk in ad homs. Let's not talk in fallacies. Yeah. And he's in the flat Earth arena with ballers, and he destroys them with those standards. Yeah, brilliant. And I'm no doubt, because I'm not going to listen to the rest of this, no chance whatsoever. But I'm no doubt he does in that arena. It's when he comes back home and pumps ether, and all of those standards disappear.
Go out the window.
Yeah.
That's the issue with this.
But you understand what I'm saying? I said I was proud of him in this opening statement because he took. Remember when he was on my show last time? He said what we're arguing is redundant, and this is exactly the same argument he's making that he said was redundant.
Yes.
Right.
So he's actually listened to what we said, and he's trying to take it on board. So that I really applaud him.
Yeah, but is it a chameleon? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it just, and this is what Adam's saying, based on the scenery, I'm going to change my standard or my rhetoric or whatever based on the audience, right? Or whatever the case might be.
Yeah. Do you guys think we're going to get through to this last guy in like 6 minutes?
If everybody keeps talking.
Let's see if we're gonna get the lot of the.
Quiet, Neil. We're trying to get through this.
Narrower as the drone goes straight up, which would put it further away from the ship overall. And I'm going to conclude my opening there.
Yeah, eventually. Okay. Now we're gonna have this other guy.
A1. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, eventually.
I'll say it wrong again. Ozion.
Okay.
Like ozone. Like ozone. I gotta try to.
Ozian, dude. Ozian.
Anyways, everybody, I just want to remind you that Modern Day Debate is a neutral debate platform where we host debates on science, politics, religion, you name it, we will.
Suppose this is the moon. And here's the flat earth. Okay? Suppose this is the moon.
Depending on your interactions in the past, you might have a lot to say here, or you might have a skeptic talk, it's okay. But we're just happy to have you here. So we'll take it over you for up to 6 minutes, and thanks again.
Yeah, so I just want to remind everyone that I was invited like 10 minutes ago. And I study software engineering. I don't study like in the same campus as
software engineering. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So you would understand the basis of even the engineering of the software requires it to be flat, not curved. All the software development is based on flat ones and zeros, not curved, by the way.
As I frequent, we have our space engineering, other engineering. But software engineering, we only have physics 1. So I don't know much about physics, okay? As somebody else from the same university I frequent, which is Brasilia's university, that could be here and know more about this stuff. But I know some basics, which is enough to prove that flat Earth false. And that's why I took this object right here. This object actually is a twisty puzzle, and it has 12 sides. And if you take let's suppose this is a ball, okay, and let's suppose this is the moon.
Whoa. So he's already starting with a false. He's saying, let's take this with the also, and then saying, let's suppose it's a ball.
Yeah, he already has this on a ball.
But you understand what I'm saying? Let's take this with flat 12 flat sides, and then suppose it's a ball.
Mm-hmm. Well, my only assumption is that, sorry, just real quick, is that he didn't have a ball that size, so he had to get something that he could use, and he's like, let's assume this is a ball. It's not, but I didn't have anything else.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he only had 10 minutes. I get it, right? So I'll cut him a little bit of slack. The argument that he uses his Rubik's Cube shaped moon in is what the real problem is. So
yeah.
And here's the flat Earth, okay? So if you have somebody, okay, can you see that?
No.
No, you can't see that. But yeah, like imagine somebody who is on this side and somebody who is on this side. Okay, they're on different sides. And then the moon, which is a ball, is over here. Then the person who is on the right of the paper and the person who is on the left of the paper, they would see different faces of the moon.
Okay, first of all, he's already assuming the moon is spherical, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
And then he's assuming that the moon is a physical object that is at a certain angle.
Right.
And a certain height.
Because he's appealing to parallax right now. Basically,
yeah.
One person is going around the corner of around the curve of the moon.
He's got everybody on a ball.
No, it's a straight straw man again. It has to be
a
ball. If I describe the flat Earth model like this,
yep,
and it's ridiculous, then it has to be a ball. It's back to the same guy. They've got no proof of their own paradigm. All they can do is set up a straw man, make you look ridiculous, and therefore leave the false dichotomy that it has to be a ball.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. The truth is, we always see the same face of the moon, and that
face doesn't make it a sphere. Remember, space is 2-dimensional. So the reason when you say space, then it's not 3-dimensional. Debunk your argument, actually. Spheres do not have faces.
No.
Just had to point that out.
Proves the Earth is not flat. If the Earth was flat, we should see the moon from different perspectives. Oh, but maybe the moon is not a 3-dimensional object, which is what would happen with 3-dimensional objects. Maybe the moon has 2 dimensions. Let me find a 2-dimensional object here. This will do. Okay. If we have a 2-dimensional object, people watching it from this perspective, as the object moves,
And he's
I
using a
reckon
three-dimensional.
it's
He's using a three-dimensional object and calling it two.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What? There is no two-dimensional object. That's a
No.
concept.
Yeah. We live in a three-dimensional reality, so everything is three-dimensional. Even that paper is holding has length, breadth, and width.
Yeah, exactly. Even the thickness of the ink has a width.
Everything. It's got micrometers. Everything has a micro. Everything has 3 dimensions in this reality. I mean, theoretically, on a screen, you can have a 1-dimensional, 2-dimensional line, but it's still based in a 3-dimensional space.
Is Karen laughing right now?
Yeah.
Oh, I hope she is. It's quite right. Because this is farcical. We've now gone into a nonsensical, philosophical straw man of the flat Earth to prove it's a ball.
Stupid.
But don't they usually do that?
That's all they have. That's all they have.
Like they're the same arguments they give. Oh, if it was flat, you guys could see the ice wall. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? You know, it's stupid. This is the kind of redundant arguments they give us. It's really idiotic.
Imagine just this is a ring. So they would see from the different perspectives, they would see different shapes if the moon is 2-dimensional. They would see different shapes. We don't see different shapes of the moon, of course. During
okay.
There you go. There's your affirming the consequent fallacy in a nutshell.
There it is. Okay, guys, I'm gonna try and explain this quickly because the power's gonna go off in 4 minutes. Okay. Let's say the moon is here, like you're saying, in 2 dimensions. Their claim is, now this is their claim, correct? Not us. If I see it from this, and I see it from this, I'm going to see 2 different. So therefore, it would look elliptical. That's what they're claiming, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. What happens when you see got to do with parallax, when a mountain is far away? The percentage of change is minimum, correct?
Yeah.
So this distance and these distances won't really make a difference because it's percentage-wise.
Right. Scale.
You can go all the way around like you want. If that moon is, let's say, like they in their straw man 3,000 miles up, you're not going to see a percentage change if you go from left to right. You're going to see the same thing. It's not going to show elliptical or anything because of parallax. That's just me rebutting that in 2 seconds.
If the moon is flat and 2-dimensional, I would see a different shape of the moon from different positions. I don't see a different shapes of the moons at different positions. Therefore, the Earth is not flat.
Exactly.
Well, they essentially ignore his argument for the first hour because it was just so stupid.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, you guys want to go carry on with this on Wednesday?
Yeah, sure.
Only the headlines like that. Because literally, I mean, how far into it are we? And we've destroyed all their arguments as they announce them. In fact, they don't even get to announce them properly. They're destroyed.
About 20 minutes in or something.
22 minutes.
22
minutes.
I would like to hear the rebuttals of the flat earthers.
Okay, so Wednesday we'll carry
Just
on.
heard them, Neil.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
only
heard-
I only heard Karen B.
You
No,
said
you
you wanted
guys
to
got
hear
that
the
time.
rebuttal of the flat earthers.
No, not
Yeah,
us.
we are the flat earthers.
Yeah.
I want to hear the
Missing the point.
videotape.
Flying over the head, Neil.
No, you know what I want? You know what I'm after.
That's the rebuttal of the true earthers. Remember on there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
right.
just
They're
be
not
careful.
flat earthers.
Just be
That's right.
careful. You might get
missed it.
excommunicated. Be careful, okay?
Excommunicado.
Who's the
Okay,
Who's the
guys.
Pope of Flat Earth? Wait, who's the Pope?
We have no
Probably
idea.
Eric Dubay, hasn't it? Really?
Massive power land.
Okay, guys, my power's like gonna go off in 1.5 minutes. You guys have any closing statements quickly?
Toodaloo.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Forward to Wednesday. See if it
Yeah,
can be better.
No, look forward tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's Michael Kahn.
Why am I saying when? Oh yeah, of course. No, but I mean for this.
Okay, yeah. But I
Yeah,
definitely want to see you guys
tomorrow.
Wednesday. But tomorrow night, it's Michael Kahn's live stream again. And he's got some awesome clips to share, comments. and it's Spuddy's birthday stream. So guys, please do come.
Well,
It's going to be awesome.
The guests ain't too bad either.
Yeah, and Michael,
Yeah.
I'm happy to call you a shill because you get 35 viewers. Okay.
No, I heard Michael's gonna have fight the tight shirt on. Is that true, Michael?
Yeah, that's me fighting my tight shirt.
If Michael was to have him on, I'd think something was wrong. Something big was wrong if Michael was to have him on.
What time?
So yeah, guys.
Tomorrow.
8 o'clock, Adam.
See, I'm still doing QE live. But I shall try and get over there when I've done.
Awesome.
Much appreciated.
Okay, so thank you guys for coming. Really appreciate it. Sorry that I have to cut it off. Power's about to go off. I'll see you all Wednesday for part 2. Cheers, guys.
All right. That wraps up my show. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the content, please share. If you didn't hit a like, please hit that Fonzarelli as soon as possible before you leave. Appreciate it. I've been your host, Travis Finley. I have come to bring life and chew bubblegum, but I'm all out of